with Marie Shadows today, and we will be tomorrow, Time Cop in the morning. You guys will hear that podcast, so tune into that. You'll hear the Dave Meltzer moment of the week. Let's watch this Mercedes Moné. She just opened the segment like hello wrestling and Camille's looking fine like wine, and they're having private parties here with them, and they're in some sort of backstage party. Okay. They're plugging, like in center focus is a New Japan belt, and they're talking about capital punishment or whatever, the New Japan show. I don't get why. So Isaiah Cassidy's picking up on Monet. And then Camille's pushing him back. Okay, now Okada's getting involved. Okada versus Private Party? Is that what's... Yeah. Conan buries him. So Billy used to work there for Keeping It 100. That's how I discovered that dude. And he literally, like 2 WrestleManias ago, he predicted the whole thing, like a month before it happened. Literally knew Vince was coming back and everything. So that's where I just started paying attention to his hot news. But I'm not... that was such a cringe segment from Monet. Sorry, guys. I had to watch that. Okada, she's just marking out because she loves Okada. He stood up for her. She's probably dating Okada now. But yeah, dude, New Japan, I love them, and I'm not going to shit on them for having low tickets, but that's what happened when they started working with AEW, literally. Yeah, Okada. People used to go, but Jonah, but Bronson Reed, he beat Okada. Look at Okada right now and look at Reed right now.
The best guy is Tony Khan.
Okay, so I have 2 miscellaneous here. This is from like about a week back. Rich Swann is entering rehab after second disorderly intoxication arrest since 2022. If you guys remember, he was released from WWE, went to TNA's doing his thing. Rich Homie Swann teamed with AJ Francis, and Swann is entering a substance abuse rehab program. TNA has told Post Wrestling, and I just pray and hope he gets better. Publicly intoxicated. Who knows? I don't need to know what he was doing. Hopefully it was nothing horrendous. Obviously not. And he's taking the appropriate steps seemingly. So wish him a speedy recovery and all that. And hopefully he just gets better. I like Rich Homie Swann. Here's Ronda Rousey though. Here's her apology for it. Now this is touchy for YouTube and maybe people sensitive in the chat. I don't know. I know that one asshole was calling us all snowflakes earlier. Meanwhile, this is the only channel where you get a guy who does a 10-minute Trump bit just to have Jericho sing at the end of it, okay? This is the only channel that does not shy away anything wrestling related, okay? We dive face first and balls deep into everything. Ronda Rousey, and no one dip out here, this will be quick, but she apologized she did an AMA in an MMA subreddit, or no, I think it was the Squared Circle subreddit, pardon me, and they just completely obliterated her. It was the worst idea ever. She gave up like an hour in, and people went super harsh on her. I'm not going to read all the questions from that, but basically she was asked about Sandy Hook. I guess I'll say that. The Sandy School conspiracy will say that because I don't know what the YouTube likes these days. But yeah, so here, she's going to just apologize for that. We're going to read it. I can't say how many times I've redrafted this apology over the last 11 years, how many times I've convinced myself it wasn't the right time or that I'd be causing even more damage by giving it. But 11 years ago, I made the single most regrettable decision of my life. I watched a Sandy Hook conspiracy video and reposted it on Twitter. I didn't even believe it, but was so horrified at the truth that I was grasping for an alternative fiction to cling to instead. I quickly realized my mistake and took it down, but the damage was done. By some miracle, it seemingly slipped under the media's radar. I was never asked about it, so I never spoke of it again, afraid that calling attention to it would have the opposite of the intended effect. It could increase the views of those conspiracy videos and selfishly inform even more people. I was ignorant, self-absorbed, and tone-deaf enough to share one in the first place. I drafted a 1,000th apology to include in my last memoir, but my publisher begged me to take it out, saying it would overshadow everything else and do more harm than good. So I convinced myself that apologizing would just reopen the wound for no other reason than me selfishly trying to make myself feel better, and that I would hurt those suffering even more and possibly lead more people down the black hole. Very vulnerable here, Rhonda. I appreciate this, of conspiracy by it being brought up again, so I could try to shake the table of being a Sandy Hook truther, but honestly, the label, pardon me, dyslexic, but honestly, I deserve to be hated, labeled, detested, resented, and worse for it. I deserve to lose out on every opportunity. I should have been canceled. I would have deserved it. I still do. I apologize. This came 11 years too late, but that to those affected by the massacre from the bottom of my heart and depth of my soul, I am so sorry for the hurt I caused. I can't even begin to imagine the pain you've endured, and words cannot describe how thoroughly remorseful and ashamed I am of myself for contributing to it. I've regretted it, etc., etc. You guys get the idea, okay? They will only make you feel powerless, afraid, etc., etc. So kudos to her for apologizing, I guess, if that helps people. Helps people cope or whatever. I don't know. If it helps her feel better, that's awesome. I don't know, but at the end of the day, like, this is what Chelsea Green, and I got into this debate with Chris Connors. I was on Last Call podcast again today, and he was, and of course we were debating, and he was talking about Tessa Blanchard coming back to TNA, and Chelsea Green basically responded to Tessa Blanchard claiming that she had like self-deletion thoughts after she was sort of canceled from wrestling. Chelsea Green was like, look, all we want is an apology. We just want you to like own up to what you did. That's the one thing you haven't done, and yeah, I just think like it's good to at least just like apologize for whatever. Now Ronda Rousey is doing like a GoFundMe. She needs like 20 grand to do like a graphic novel, and there's all these other conspiracies that she's like, her book didn't do that good, and it didn't perform that well, and that she might be hurting for money and all that. I don't know how that could be true. She's made so much of it in her career, both careers, that I don't know if that would be true, but she is doing a GoFundMe to try and get like a graphic novel off the ground. So I don't know. Shout her out. Mariah May. Yeah. Good thing they slapped the title on her. Hey folks. Yeah. So let's dive into some WWE news now as we watch Dynamite, which is a little sort of silly, I guess. Not really silly, but this goes way back. This goes back like almost 2 weeks ago, guys. So I hope you're ready for this. Let's see what's up next. Ricochet, we're going to really watch his match, folks. We're going to really watch it attentively. Here's the grizzled young vets. They're just going to talk some. So, former WWE host Matt Camp got heated on his show about working with Megan Morant. Now this Matt Camp guy's a geek, 100%, dude. And if you hear this, let's talk this out. No, just kidding. He's speaking like firsthand what he experienced, but this dude has just been boo-boo since he got released. He didn't make the most. He'll forever be known as like the on WWE guy. He could have probably went and parlayed his time at WWE into a job like anywhere else. Could have worked Tony Khan for some money. And instead, just makes it be known that he's a guy who just wants to trash his former employer and all this. It's just so like, he's just sad that he got let go for this podcast. No one was really watching. And he's just sad he got passed up. That's how I feel with this Matt Camp guy, but whatever. We'll read. He buries this girl, I believe. Okay, so sorry, I had to hydrate soda water. So Matt Camp says, I tried to help her. She didn't want the help. Shit, I'll go further. Michael Cole was checking in with me on how she was doing, and I would have to tell him, she doesn't really want the help. Now I'm not there anymore, and she is. So call that what you will. Exactly, you guy. You're sour grapes. And this Megan Morant, buried her on this show a few times because she's not that good. But it's just it's just funny. He's like, now she's still there and I'm not. So, you just sound sour grapes, dude. Initially, she wanted to get better. Hey, you're going to be in town for this community event. Why don't you come and sit backstage and watch Raw Talk? We'll show you everything we do. Hey, you're still here. Why don't you come stay around for the bump this week? Hey, that'd be cool if we put you on the show and you can do this. And those things happen. And I talked to Cole and I said, hey, if she wants to keep coming around, I'd be happy to have her around. She could shadow. She could learn from the best and Jackie Redmond. We can show her the ropes. It's good to be around these things. And she was into it. And that continued. And then they made the call. Megan's the number 2 to Kayla on SmackDown. Jackie's moving. We're going to take Megan off the road. She'll be a Stamford person with me and Ryan. And now she'll be with you on those shows. She's going to be with you on those 3 shows. Okay, I wasn't thrilled because I was losing Kayla, but I got it. We're going to make this work. Let's try hard. And it didn't. It didn't work. And they tried, and the trying stopped, and the conversations I tried to have to improve things. You're just mad that this guy is just mad, dude, that they moved around. Ooh, I'm a baby. No, everything worked my way. I'm a baby. So, no, we had no chemistry, and that's what happened. Yeah, that's fine. And then you got fired. So obviously she's got chemistry with other people. You don't always get what you want. You try to make the best of the situation, but I can only help so much. Let me add one more thing because it needs to be said. I talked to you about the people that reached out to me when I got let go, people that I didn't talk to on a regular basis. Kevin Owens, Drew McIntyre, Byron Saxton called me. I don't need to say everybody, but the people I worked with closely who didn't know what was happening or did know or whatever reached out. People I didn't even like reached out. Yeah, it's called being professional, bro. They all loved me and wanted me there. No, dude. Jeepers, man. This guy's got some big time
emotional damage.
You know who never said a word to me? This needs to be said because I'm kind of tired of this. Megan. She never said a word to me. Yeah, dude, she didn't like you. You were rubbing people the wrong way. I got let go. The show went off the air Wednesday, not a text. Nothing, nada. So remember that when you help people out. Remember that. Dude, she probably thought you were a prick and a weirdo from day one. Jeepers, I'm not reading all that. Cool story, bro. You know what I mean? Jesus Christ, man. And then Wrestle Talk every single word to try and bury WWE. But when Meltzer's being an idiot, it's like one sentence. Here's Cody Rhodes being told that he's the biggest draw in the world right now, pretty much. Not literally, but this is the guy who runs Fanatics. He deals with all the celebrities and athletes who, set up booths and all that.
So you know what I've just been told?
Thank you again.
I owe you a giant thank you. Because you are, without question, the number 1 person driving WWE's business. So pretty amazing that you being the number 1 person driving WWE's business. But I got to give some other people a hard time. I got to give Brock a hard time, Logan a hard time.
Oh, no.
But my new guy, number 1.
Wow.
Make it happen.
It's actually
Right.
official at this
I
point.
gotta be honest with you. Someone just brought me something yesterday where I had a quote. It said number 2, number 3 suck. It's only about number 1.
Oh, God, I don't know.
No, I had a quote. They said, will you write this on my jersey? And I was actually telling
So, yeah, that dude's like, you're the top draw. I got to get on Logan's ass. I got to get on The Rock's ass. You're making us the most money. So there you go. Cody Rhodes will draw all these babies who say he isn't. They can eat it. LC Killer 17 for $2 says, F that guy. I never liked him in WWE. And now, yeah, he'll be calling for a job right away. Just kidding. But no, that guy's he's just sour grapes, man. I hear that guy talking. I'm just,
Shut up, bitch.
just crying. They announced a 4-way match for Rampage. Mortis, Commander, Leo Rush, and Takeshita. Great. Thank you so much for the super chat, my guy. So, this is a while back too. This is Jonathan Coachman said Big E will never return to the WWE ring. Big E is never wrestling again. He's never wrestling again. I know he wants to. I would never allow him to because he would take one bad, just a simple choke slam or a body slam for him to be paralyzed forever. So yeah, guys, Big E may never come back, but he may come back. If his stem cells work, but he's been honest, like they're not really working, and I think that's why they're pulling the trigger on breaking up the New Day too. So yeah, hopefully Big E just recovers, but like whatever. He's always got a job at the desk. He'll be a commentator one day, all of that stuff. But it's just unfortunate, man, that they had to go out that way. And hopefully we get some sort of New Day reunion. But yeah. Moving along, we have Ricochet's match. So Brandy Rhodes on the Cody Rhodes video. Dirt sheets right now. Can't do the math. They all want to shun Cody. Here's a video of Rhea Ripley stopping for a young fan right here. Go out of her way.
Hey, hold on. All right. Thank you. She's with you? Yes. But she's letting it happen.
Yeah, she loves her little kid fans. Like, you see videos of her.
Thank you.
Or you see her at the airport and all the fat neckbeards be trying to get autographs, and she'll go to the kids, like, and she'll just mean mug, the autograph guys. So, okay, Big E provided an update. So here's what Big E said. We were talking about his neck. Right now, my neck is just not ossifying. It's not turning into new bone quite yet. It is kind of healing fibrously. So it's all connected, and it's no fear that if I were pushed too hard or if I were bumped, anything would happen. I'm not really in the position right now to be cleared medically because of the nature of what we do is very physical and taking bumps, etc. We understand. Just praying for Big E, man. Hopefully he can come back. Here's John Cena on Club Shay Shay saying who the greatest of all time is. And here's who he named. Shout out Club Shay Shay. Oh, am I stealing from Club Shay Shay? Ooh, snowflakes. Ooh.
And it's amazing that I'm saying a still active talent with years in front of him is the greatest of all time. Wow. But he's been in it since 2012. I had to work my way up. I started on the bench and then got onto the Saturday program and then just lost every match. He came in with the Shield in a really high level spot and never wavered. Even when the fans didn't like him, he was still in a main event spot. He's been in a main event lens for over a decade now, and he's brought through his clock, and you could say whatever force has helped it. But in 2012, the stock was trading at $11. WWE or TKO stock's now at 117. Wow. That's on his shoulders. There isn't a better indication of, and I know it's a team effort. Nobody does it alone. But like when you say
in AR Gold, that's just John Cena's opinion. That's just his opinion. Why would the numbers matter if he's good? Because the whole point of wrestling is to entertain people, and the more people who are entertained by your shit means it's the best. Stupid dumb.
Hey, that to me is like, that's some serious. And for me, I got to give her respect where respect is due. And Joe's smart, passionate about the business, multi-generational athlete, has respect for his family, has respect for the locker room, has respect for the business. He's a very, very smart performer and somebody I respect. He would be my greatest of all.
Damn, that's amazing. John Cena saved. John Cena, absolutely.
Acknowledge me.
He's got his ones up. What is TNA getting out of this relationship? TNA's pay-per-view buys in 2024 are up 114% from Rebellion. 114%.
You what?
Around, dude. And Ziggler or Nemeth revealed he originally only signed on for 10 dates, and then they keep extending it, and because he's having such a good time there, and it's so good. Like, it's very telling of their business. So Emergence Friday, I'll be going live for that. CM Punk responds to the idea that there would be similar incidents involving him in WWE that happened in AEW. That's all. None of that stuff is reality. Oh, he's a cancer, and listen, not everybody gets nice me, but I treat you accordingly. If you're a piece of shit and you act that way to me, I will treat you that way. If you're nice, you're smiling, you want to have a good time, let's have a good time. I'm all hugs. And it's not like I'm two different people. There's just certain people, the ones that spread those lies, the ones that say those things about me. It's because they can't control me. They can't control the things I do and I say, and they absolutely hate that. So they try to control the way other people feel or see me. And you're going to have to make your own judgment. You're going to have to draw your own conclusions. Hell yeah, dude. That's why Punk's the man, dude. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, I feel what Punk's saying there. Netflix announced today that they have seen 150% increase in ad sales thanks to shows like WWE Raw, Christmas Day NFL games, Squid Games, Wednesday, Outer Banks, Love is Blind. Netflix's global viewership for their ad tier rose from 23 million in January to 40 million. And these people are trying to tell you that the Netflix thing isn't a good thing, man. Look how much they almost doubled their viewership when their ad tier rose. Their ad tier rose and they doubled up. And that's because, as I've said on this show, they did the market research, and most people who watch WWE also got Netflix. I'm telling you that. Okay? I don't like Ricochet's new gear in AEW, man. I do not like it whatsoever. Julian Weeks. Fox News is reporting out of all the stars and athletes at the Fanatics event, the only group that sold out photo ops and autograph sessions was the WWE stars. The only people who were sold out above Barry Sanders, Cal Ripken Jr., Adrian Peterson, Jerry Rice were Triple H people, dude. Triple H's people, WWE people. And yeah, on that pop-up ramp. So there you go. Triple H's era, dude. That's what that is right there. Logan Paul's response to the viral video. So, okay, there's a video here. I'll play Logan's response. So I thought this was up, but it turns out people broke it down and no, like he didn't push this dog. I kick your dog. You kick my dog. But yeah, this is, I don't know. Let's just play Logan's response to him. Everybody said he pushed a dog into the ocean or the river, or the lake or whatever. Let's see. I don't believe, I believe after you watch it in slow-mo, like you're actually like, oh yeah. Like if you just watch the video, it looks like someone pushed the dog, but he is absolutely right. He breaks it down like scientifically here. You know, they were trying to like save the dog, I guess, but here's his response.
In today's episode of What Can We Make Up About Logan Paul to Get Him Canceled? A video from 4 years ago circulating where my dog Broly jumped off a boat. They're trying to say that I pushed my dog off the boat for content, which look, I know I've done some crazy stuff for content, but this accusation is on some serial killer shit. So the first thing I did was immediately revisit the original video. And even back then, 4 years ago, I clarified in the comment section, pinned comment that he was not pushed. Also, if you know anything about dogs, watch his body language. His head is straight. His eyes are locked onto something. Broly is the one who initiated the jump from a pouncing position, and his tail as well remains curled throughout the jump. If he were pushed, like forced to get off the boat against his will, he would have been scared and his tail would have been tucked between his legs. But since it was curled, it shows that he was comfortable and shows that it was a self-induced jump. Now for the hands, there are two hands, one on the top of his back, one on his tail to try to prevent him from jumping in, but he obviously escaped our grasp and jumped in anyways. And you can see the one on the top, which I believe was my hand, kind of like follow him in just because I was trying to keep him from going, and he went in the water, and so then I had to go in after. Now, two of the original tweets saying that I pushed my dog in the water were deleted after I responded with the original video in slow motion and HD and said 4 years later.
Yeah, I don't know. He didn't try to kill the dog, guys. I don't know. We're trying to cancel Logan Paul again. I don't know. He didn't do it. He's innocent. God damn it. E-fapping with Logan. Yeah, exactly. I'm more interested. Like, what about those NFTs he was pulling, bro? What's going on with all that? So WWE security. So this is WWE security has been confiscating Roman Reigns signs from fans. Apparently, they're letting Cody Rhodes signs in. Why are they trying to suppress Roman fans from bringing signs in? What the hell is going on? So here's you can't convince me that's not a slight. Take away Roman and Jay signs, yet let in Cody signs. WWE is so gross, and this is just one of many to prove it. So why? What was WWE doing here? Look at this. From what I've seen so far, these pictures are floating around. Can clearly see we want Roman. It's our first SmackDown, yet it's confiscated. Yet the tweet it's replying to shows plenty of other signs getting in. Why were so many signs taken from us in Orlando, Florida on August 16th? Had no offensive or non-WWE, mostly Roman Reigns, left a bad taste in our mouth, especially when you see the other city next week full of signs, Triple H. So, like, what was going on here, folks? There's a conspiracy afoot. WWE. What are you guys doing? What is WWE doing? Why are they doing this? That's what I want to know. Are they really trying to suppress it? Like, you can't suppress it. He's the biggest dude ever, but maybe they want, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I can't really even think about, I don't know why they do that at all. Seems so weird to me, man. There's an answer there. We'll find out. We'll find out. I'll update you as we go. But yeah, so I talked about this earlier. Like, you know, Tessa Blanchard opens up about experiencing suicidal thoughts and anxiety due to the lows of her wrestling career, I guess is the word I'll use. And then Chelsea Green just said, I don't wish self-harm or thoughts of deletion on anyone and hope she has found peace. However, I am sorry goes a long way. Or a simple I am sorry goes a long way. We haven't heard that yet. Accountability matters, and a redemption tour of interviews won't erase the actions of an egotistical bully. See, so that's where, like, just apologize, you know, Tessa, and it'll work. Ronda did it. That's all I'm saying. Wrestle votes. According to source, there's an all-employee meeting today at WWE HQ in Stamford, hosted by Mark Shapiro. I'm told the biggest news to come out of the meeting is that the WWE Performance Center will be moving to Las Vegas in the near future. Now, that was refuted. WWE says they're not moving the Performance Center, Fightful Select. Now, when he reported this, WrestleVotes reported this and said that's what their source said. I instantly quote tweeted it and said, this is not true. If anything, they are building a residency and starting a residency there as Bruv comes out to confront Ricochet. Predictable. We all knew. But anyways, so I quote tweeted and said, no, dude, if anything, they're just going to build another performance center in Vegas, like where, like in a hotel and like that sort of residency, so that when people who are doing residencies there can pack just poison Rana Bruv on the ramp. But yeah, so when people do residencies there, like when they rotate in and out, when the superstars who are doing NXT WWE shows or whatever in Las Vegas, they'll stay in the hotels there. Like UFC already did all this. They put a PI there, they have their Apex Center, and they have a hotel. Like literally the fighters can stay there and just walk over the building next to them, and you know, and that they're going to set the same thing up just over like West Coast, you know, and have like a West Coast base. They're not going to close everything Orlando. And then, yeah, Fightful sort of backed me up on there. There you go. Why can't we be friends? No, but they go, yeah, they're not moving the Performance Center. And then WrestleVotes was squirming, and he was like, not squirming. I don't want to on him, but it was just a bad take. Like they told him some fake. But yeah, I didn't bookmark anymore, but he was like, well, listen, they said it's a long-term plan for like in the long term. And it's like, dude, your source misheard what he heard. You know what I mean? Like whatever he heard, they're just gonna build another PC there. They're not just getting rid of the PC in Florida. That makes absolutely no sense to do whatsoever. Shorter WWE PLE cards are expected to continue, and WWE are happy with how they turn out. So 5-6 matches, 7 if they want to get spicy. I agree. That's the right length. We've talked about it on the show, but it allows them to stack Raw and SmackDown. And exactly that. What have I been telling y'all, man? You just give us a big fight feel for the go home shows, and you're able to do that. Like, you know I argue with Chris Connors, like, what are we going to do with everybody? And it's like, don't worry, man. We will, like, it'll be fine. You know, there's going to be room for everybody for matches. SmackDown runs in the same city as a PLE. Yeah. So you guys know what's up. Shorter cards for the pay-per-views, and then just having bigger high-profile matches and stack up the go-home shows. So WWE is once again shaking up its announced teams for Raw and SmackDown. Beginning in September, Raw will be called by Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett, which is the combo I did not expect, but that's awesome. And Michael Colin Graves will handle the action on SmackDown. So when they go to Netflix, I don't know. I wonder if Graves is gonna be on Raw then. Like, are they gonna just go with Barrett and Tessitore? Maybe they have a new vision going forward. UFC greatly revised their commentary not too long ago, a handful of years ago. They just outright got rid of Mike Goldberg, brought in Jimmy Smith, and then now they have like Rogan with like ex-fighters primarily, and like now it's just mostly all ex-fighters. So we'll see, who knows. But you got to think Cole and Graves are like, man, we want to be the dudes on Netflix. Like, we earned that, but maybe not. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah. So the last thing I got for you guys here in Phil Marks bookmarks, Machine Gun Kelly. Everybody's cooking him. Everybody's just trashing him. Randy Orton called him Pinocchio. And it could be a work. Like, it could just be them working us into some sort of celebrity. But I just don't know. Like, because MGK is also talking about UFC fighter Sean Strickland, who would just literally kill him. So, I don't know, man. I think he might just really he's a mark for himself, or maybe he's not. Who knows? But he's a clown. And yeah, Randy Orton apparently. Well, let's just hear what MGK says. Apparently, he said you to Orton or something like this, and backstage or in front of everyone. And we'll get into the tweets here. This is super goofy, though.
I was in the ring yesterday, just coming to say what's up to Logan and see what we could work out for the show. And I saw Randy Orton, and I remember seeing Randy Orton, talk about me, and I was like, I there's a point where I'm like, I'm going to practice like a new version of myself. And then 3, 2, 1, I'm like that. Hey man, you.
Wait, really?
Yeah. You didn't, I don't know where you were,
that.
but I remember all my boys were sitting there like,
oh no. Oh no.
Is this real? What is this part of the script? I don't know what's happening, but
are his boys like emos in a high school, like in that one music video or are they like Cleveland gangsters or whatever? Like you never know with this goofball. So yeah, I don't know. Randy Orton would slap the ever-loving out of this dude is the thing. And yeah, he also went at Sean Strickland, which I'm not going to cover, but I guess I technically am. But yeah, it's like Sean Strickland will actually beat you up. He's really beat up influencers like at the Performance Center, or the Performance Institute. He's like, show up here, and they show up, and he beat the shit out of a Marine who's an MMA fighter. There's this MMA fighter Marine or whatever who's like, nah, we like Marines are tougher than MMA fighters. And Strickland's like, okay. And he beat literally beat this guy so badly. I felt bad. I was like, this is like horrifying, So it's like, I don't know what MGK is trying to do here, but cameras were rolling. Tell WWE put that out. Like, they got to be working us with this, right? And then he goes again and says, you have my number and you know why you have it, by the way, but I won't even put you on blast for that. Check your texts. I don't know, dude. To me, that's just clownness. Pinocchio. Like, all Orton did was just put the Pinocchio nose, and everyone's just cooking MGK. Like, he's getting ratioed and all this. So I don't know. Is he trying to he wants to wrestle, like be Bad Bunny, or is he just being a mark for himself and thinks he's being tough? I have no idea. I think if anything, it's probably somewhat of a work, but why are we going to get like Orton and Logan with MGK or some sort of thing? I don't know. MGK is going to meet RKO, and that'll be the end of that. So